In this video, we are going to discuss about Flexbox. So what is Flexbox? It's more like a responsive way that your divs are going to align by themselves uh, into whatever format you want. So if you look at, let's go to Excalidraw, right? And let me draw this out. For example, this is a box, right? And then there's other boxes inside it, right? For instance, this is a box, this is a box, and this is a box, right? So what it is doing is this entire length is called cross axis, this vertical length, and this entire length is called the main axis, right? And it's aligning all the elements inside of it as you want, right? So for instance, if I go to my HTML, this is what it looks like. Let's give it some, you know, properties so that we can understand it. Dot container, let's say background color is aqua, right? Let's say dot box has a width of 200 px, height of 100 px, background color blue, text color is white, right? If I save it, this is what it looks like. I'll give it some margin as well. Ten px, 10 px, 10 px, 10 px. So now if I reload it, this is what it looks like, right? So if this is what it is looking like, what if I want to arrange it in a horizontal manner, right? So the parent element is container. So what I'll do is I'll go to display, I'll set it up as flex, right? And if I reload this is what it looks like now, right? It's arranged horizontally, right? What if I give all the boxes some 200 view width, right? That's not possible, right? It's not possible because this first div is going to extend the entire length, right? So what if I give it a flex wrap, right? I want to wrap all the contents, flex wrap as wrap, right? So if I wrap it, so it will, wrap the content and just take them below, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all this. I am going to keep it to say 30 view width or something, right? What I actually want is that all the content that is there, align items, center. If I do this, really no change. What it actually does is on the cross axis, which is vertical, it will just center them, right? What if I make it, let's say 10 view width? Again, no change really. It just, vertically is centering them. Let's say I give it a bit more height, let's say 500 px, right? On the 500 px, sorry, 100 px, I want a height of 500 px, So it is aligning them on the cross axis and it's centering them, right? What if I want to align them horizontally? I'll go to justify content, justify items, and I'm going to center them, right? Nothing happens. Why? Uh, let's say justify content, center. Yeah, justify content works. Yeah, so it is, aligning them on a horizontal axis, which is the main axis, on the center. Is there any other way to do things? Let's say space between, right? So the space between the first and second and third div is centered or equal, right? Let's say I want to do space around and I save it, right? So the space between the first div and the margin and the third div and the margin is equal, right? So those are the elements that help with Flexbox. What are other things that we can do with Flexbox? Let's say, can you define the space of the third article, right? Let's say I want to center them. I want box nth of type. How do you work with nth of type? Nth of type 3. Yeah, let's say nth of type 3, right? So I want the third box to be, let's say, flex. You can say 2, right? Let's say 2. And if I go here, so what the third div does is it occupies a space of two divs like this, right? And the first two divs are just there, right? What it is doing is, let's say int of 2, this basically states each flex item will be first given 100px of the available space. After that the rest of the available space will be shared accordingly to the proportional units. You will see a difference in how the space is shared, right? So let's say third article takes up twice as much of the available width as the other two. There are now 4 proportion units available in total, 1 plus 1 plus 2, right? Let's say 2, we give it 100px, right? And we give this flex 1 200px, right? I'll save it, I'll go back. Yeah, so it's almost equal. That's because it's saying that one flex is 200px, so 200 200, and you are saying 2, this flex is 2 of 100px, which is almost equal the length, right? So 2 into 100 is 200px, 1 into 200 is 200px. So all of them are going for the same length. Let's say I increase it to 300px, 1 into 300, right? So these two should be bigger than this one, right? That's what happens, right? Let's say I create it to be 1, right? So the third div will become even smaller, right? So that's what happens with flex. It automatically arranges all your flex items the way you want them, and it arranges them based on ratios, right? Then there are obviously shorthand versus longhand, which you can try it out, but I think I would rather start trying it out based on you know real projects. So that's the idea of Flexbox. What it does is, based on certain ratios, it lets you center or align your divs, and it gives a great idea about how to position elements um, based on real calculative method rather than going by estimates of pixels or percentages or any other things. So if you look at my code, there's very less calculation that's happening, more of you know um, letting the Flexbox try things out by itself. So I think we'll have a better idea when we start trying it out in projects, and I really like it as a positioning system rather than hard fixing values in display and then width and height. So yeah, can't wait to try it out. See you in the next video.